So, if apparently what's going on right now is that the U.S. is getting cyber attacked, and people are saying it's by China. Okay, and I'm of the conclusion that World War III is not what we thought World War III was going to be like. I think World War III is not going to be what World War II looked like. World War III is going to be a totally different ball game, and I think that we are currently in World War III. I think that we are in World War III, and this is just what it looks like now. It's a different type of war. I think the sanctions on Russia, the Russia not wanting, or China not wanting to attack technically the United States, but in a different country. Same thing with Russia. The sanctions that we're putting on all these countries and the cyber attacks. I think this is an act of World War III. I think that we're in it.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because I feel like we need to get married already. This is the level of professionalism. When you said that shit, my feelings hurt. Mute your shit.
I did.
So it's funny that you mentioned that because not with a B, but with a P. Because
he's up to here.
You're like a little midget. Let me put you down. Oh,
all right.
Anyway, so I also feel like we're in World War III, or at least the making of it.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's going to be less fighting with missiles and rockets and guns and more of like this. Just cyber and sanctions, things like that. I think it's going to be a lot of that. And we're going to separate ourselves to almost two parts of a world that don't really have too much interaction with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like America and Britain are going to, trade. The European Union is going to trade with us. But Russia's not really going to trade with the European Union. They're kind of going to make their own thing with China and Brazil. Like they're going to make their own little section of the world. We're still going to be like two worlds.
So there'll be two superpowers.
Yeah.
Comprised of different countries.
Yeah. And we're not going to have like not too much interaction with each other.
So one will be NATO and the other one will be non-NATO.
The BRICS, I guess you would call it.
The BRICS?
The BRICS alliance.
Wouldn't they be with us?
The BRICS?
Yeah.
They should be with us. But I don't think they will. BRICS is like they're underdogs of all these countries, They're the second generation of economic growth. So the OGs of economic growth is like, Britain, America, France, stuff like that, like old money. The new countries that are coming up, let's say like Brazil has always been poor, but now they're starting to come up. So they can't get into the American system. They're not there yet, economically. But they can mess with Russia and China, you know what I'm saying? Africa, and I think that's what's happening in the world. I think we're making two different alliances. I think eventually they would see the might of the first world finance, so they'll move into it. So like let's say Mexico. Mexico would probably be in the middle. They'll trade with Russia and China, they would. But they also would trade with America because we're right here. Why wouldn't they? You know what I'm saying? We're the biggest neighbors. Of course they would trade with us. So they'll be like a middle ground. And I think eventually they'll get to the point where they're going to have to make a decision whether they're going to join, these other countries or join with America. And I think they would, if they were smart, they would join with America. And I think America, on the other hand, will be like, hey, join us.
So which country would be America? What would be the major countries between the two?
I think the biggest powers obviously is America. You got Britain. I think the entirety of the NATO. So you're talking about England, France, Germany, countries like that, like big powers that they make a lot of money. They have a big army. They're high technology. And then you got other countries.
It would be America, Britain.
Yeah, Germany's big power.
France.
Yeah. France, yeah, stuff like that. People like that. But then
Italy,
yeah, all those countries. Basically, the whole European Union.
That's with us. Canada
is with us. Yeah.
Parts of South America.
It depends.
Parts
because South America is very socialist and communist. They have a lot of that going on.
So the northern parts,
and that's why
not even
the president of Argentina is making huge changes. He's cut so many different agencies, just like we're not spending money on this.
Scratch
this.
that. Scratch
We're
this.
The airport, the airline was owned by the government, and he sold it. He's like, no, somebody else pay for that. You know, because what happens is when you have airlines, you have unions that are government contracted, so they're like, it's too much money, get rid of them. Let some other company deal with that. The unions. And for the first time in Argentina's history, they have a balanced budget because they got rid of so many programs that were just draining the system dry. So I can see that country, eventually, if they continue on this path, joining with America and saying, yo, this is the way. Capitalism is the way. You know? Because Venezuela tried the same thing. Remember, they tried to be in the middle. They tried to do communism, but also capitalism with selling the oil. They messed that whole up, and now Venezuela's like one of the poorest countries. Meanwhile, they got the most oil in the world. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
And they messed it up. They chose wrong.
So, what do you think sets off the official naming? It has to be something wild. So those 3 soldiers that we lost recently?
Yeah.
Apparently that's not enough.
What do you mean? To start World War III?
Yeah.
Oh, they bombed Iran. America bombed. They're not technically Iran. The people that killed those soldiers, Iran was funding, and America was just bombing them. They dropped like 100-something bomb on them. Just
blah, blah.
Sorry.
Yeah, but we kind of warned them, hey, we're going to bomb here.
Well, we warned Iran because we don't want to kill them, because then that will start a real war. So we're like, look, we know you deal with these guys. Get your people out of there. Otherwise, they're going to get caught up in the mess. Meanwhile, Trump, on the other hand, was like, no, we're killing one of your guys. Remember they dropped the missile on that car? He's like, nah, that guy got to go. Sorry. I know he's one of your guys, but he got to go. But I think that's World War III. Maybe precision strikes will be like World War III. We're not bombing full countries. We're just going to hit 1 or 2 guys that we know of, really.
It feels like the other side, the Iranians, are pushing. Like, how far can we...
Well, they have to. There's no free space for them. Everything's taken up. So for them to have more, they have to bump into somebody else's space.
Yeah, but don't fuck with us.
Oh, we're there, so... That's what it comes down to. America's everywhere. We have military bases in like 100-something countries. But I think cyber attack is the future of war. Because if you knock out our infrastructure technologically, I mean they could put a virus in the power system and knock us out for weeks. If they did that, they can physically attack us and it'll be harder for us to detect them. You know what I mean?
I guess. I just feel like we are in the makings of what could potentially be World War III, but it got to be something crazier than. I feel like under this current presidency, we would get there.
World War III.
But then I think about Trump and his strong
and
policy.
He can get us there too.
It
almost feels unavoidable.
But it's different. I feel like with Biden, we get there because they push us to a point where it's like, bro, you're not going to do nothing?
Yeah.
Whereas
with Trump
is like, bro, stop doing too much.
Stop doing things.
Take
it easy, Trump. Yeah.
But I kind of feel like the attitude or the perspective of Trump is necessary because it sends a message like, we are ready to push that button.
Yeah.
But with Biden, I feel like, where's the button?
Yeah.
What button?
Yeah, but I think, like I said, cyber attack is just... The only thing about cyber attack that is interesting is that it doesn't have to be a country. It could just be a guy in his freaking basement messing around and just hacking into some system and dropping a virus in there. It doesn't necessarily have to be a guy.
Damn.
World War III coming at you live. Get ready, guys. Stock up your food. Stock up your water.
Don't tell him that shit, bro. I gotta get toilet paper.
Get your toilet paper stacked up.
That's the worst. The worst scenario.